How's everybody doing? Hopefully you all had a good day. As for myself, I've been keeping busy working on a new blog, so keep that in mind and stay tuned. Additionally, I've been giving it some thought to switching gears a little, and we'll see where that goes. Okay, we're back with another Q&A video, and let's get to it. I know with some outfits, you can buy your way back into good standings. Can that be done in the mob? That all depends why you fell out of good standing. For example, Sal Avellino, a Lucchese member, was put on the shelf. Subsequently, he handed over millions of dollars to the Lucchese administration and was reinstated. So the answer is yes, but depending on what the person did or was accused of doing. Hypothetically, if you have money on the street and you get shelved for whatever reason, do you still collect the VIG even if your customers find out you're shelved? I would have to say yes. Or the shelf member may be told to call all his money in. Again, it's something that depends. He might be able to collect his VIG, but not permitted to put additional money out on the street. Is there a correct way to address a boss? Does it depend on rank, or does a boss set the standards? I know some implemented procedures to protect against surveillance, but in general, are people on first-name basis, or is there a procedure? For the most part, you address the boss by name. At least that's how we did it in my time. Are the sons of members automatically given their PIN when the books are open? Or do they face the same length of probation as someone with no family connection? Let me first start out by saying, I think you mean button, not PIN. And the answer is no. Not every son is automatically put in. He may go ahead of associates who've been around for years because nepotism definitely exists in that life. Are you a Mets or Yankee fan, and who is your Hall of Famer of all time? I'm a Yankees fan, and I don't really have a favorite Hall of Famer. Would you consider coming over to the UK to hold an event? Yes, the UK is on my bucket list of countries to visit, and if an invitation was extended to me, I'd make the trip. Besides Ernie Grillo, did you ever meet other members of Michael Paradiso's crew? No, Ernie was the only member of Mickey Boy's crew that I met. Did you ever meet or hear about Lucchese member Calogero Davi? I've heard of him, but never met him. Has the mob been involved in construction in Miami as far as you know? I'm sure they have, and are most probably still involved in construction there as well as other parts of Florida. Who would you say was the wealthiest member in the Lucchese family when you were in that life? And is there any chance that Anthony Senta ever gets a captain position? I would have to say the wealthiest was either Neil Migliore or Paolo Lo Duca. They both had untold amounts of money. As far as Anthony Senna, he could definitely be given a captain position as he's a well-respected member. Are you familiar with the alleged Gambino member, Anthony Cinque? His wife is an influencer with a decent following, and he makes frequent appearances on her profile. How do you think this is seen in the mob? Well, as you mentioned, it's his wife's social media, not his. And I don't think anyone would take issue if he's in some pictures, etc. It's not like he started a podcast, which would be heavily frowned upon and in violation of the mob's way of conducting yourself. Thoughts on George Zapola and his co-defendants pleading guilty in the recent gambling case? And given the amount of time he'll be serving, is it likely for somebody else to step into the official boss position if Vic dies during Zapola's incarceration? I spoke about this in my most recent video. If Georgie next still wants the official position, the family would just keep an acting boss in place until he gets out. That life's extremely unpredictable. One day you're doing your thing, and the next, you're sitting in a cell. That's just the way it is. Have you ever been involved with Kansas City, Detroit, or even Chicago? I've been asked this in the past, and other than New Jersey, I never dealt with anyone in other states outside of New York. The following question was sent to me outside of YouTube. If Joseph Kutea was your associate and he told you what he was about to do regarding the extortions, what would you tell him? Naturally, I would advise him not to do it, and more importantly, not to speak on his phone regarding anything criminal. But with some of these younger guys, they don't comprehend good advice. That's a fact. Did the family have a specific guy that they would go to borrow money to put on the street? Every family has loan sharks. Some are even members of the administration. And if a guy needed to borrow money, money would be made available. Because think about it, what good is being a loan shark if you have no customers? Here's another question sent to me outside of YouTube. Lucchese associate Bobby Spinelli testified at the big Lucchese trial. Since then, nobody's heard from him. No interviews, no YouTube podcast, nothing. Why do you think that is? Spinelli was probably one of the most crucial witnesses at that trial. He literally put nails in coffins. The information and testimony he provided was key for the prosecutors to secure those convictions. When the trial was over, he disappeared back into the witness protection program and wisely avoided all public platforms. Smart, in my opinion. If you haven't liked this video yet, please take the time now and give it a like, as it helps with YouTube's algorithm. Anyone who'd like to show their appreciation for videos like this, or more importantly, help me to continue making them, you can donate with the Super Thanks icon down below or through the PayPal Cash App links in the video's description. Let me quickly mention my blog, also called Sitdownnews, especially for those of you who still enjoy reading. The site can be found at sitdownnews.com and is a paid subscription. And for the final two questions, because they're along the same lines. Where do you think you would be right now if you were made into any other family? And when you decided you wanted to be part of that life, what was your end goal? Did you strive for a position? I believe if I was with any other family, none of what happened to me would have took place. Most administrations understand you can't label a guy without paperwork. The mob's not supposed to have a washwoman gossiping mentality. My end goal was I didn't have one. I was inducted, and if a position came my way, naturally that would have been a plus. But I didn't step into that life thinking I'm going to become the boss. I was content to be part of an organization and a family where rules mattered until that family showed me otherwise.